G'day Spurs fans, it's Paul Hotspur hippie here, the only psychedelic soccer show on the internet. I've had about 3 hours sleep, but I feel like I've had 2 or 20, I don't know, man. What a game, eh? What a game. Aston Villa 0, Tottenham Hotspur 4. And I think Villa lost that from the get-go, from the lineup. We've been talking a lot about identities in football. Who are you as a team? I think it was very clear to see last night that Tottenham Hotspur, we know who we are. Villa, 5 at the back. I think their game plan was, we're above them in the league. We will just see if we can hold out for a draw and maybe pinch a goal. Game management, folks. Negative football. And what happened? We absolutely smashed them off the park, folks. We absolutely smashed them off the park. This probably isn't going to put to bed a load of criticism about Tottenham, I hear. Can't score against a low block team. Only good in the second half. I'm going to get into that, actually. Tottenham in the first half absolutely wore Villa down. Villa were atrocious, man. Villa were atrocious. But we stopped them playing. And we had so much possession in that first half that, you know, when you're chasing shadows for that long, you're going to get tired. And so I could see that was happening to Villa, that without the ball or any reward, they were getting disheartened, they were getting a little bit frayed, but most importantly, they were getting very tired. I don't think the players exactly knew what they were supposed to be doing on the pitch. That's what it looked like to me. They didn't really have a clue because they changed formation. Little old Tottenham Hotspur forced Aston Villa to change who they were. And I thought that was magnificent because Tottenham ain't changing for nobody. So I really enjoyed the whole game. I thought the first half was set the scene for the second half. I don't think it was a question of, oh, how come we didn't score in the first half? We just wore them down. We disheartened them. We kicked them in the guts. And like Radu Dragusin, later on in the game, he took an awful shot right in the cruets, but he shook it off and carried on playing. Villa, as usual, tried to be ultra physical, and Tottenham, we didn't lose our heads. We didn't give in to them. We stood our ground, man. We stood our ground. I was very proud of the way that we held up in the face of such physicality. Times where Vic was being hassled. The red card by McGinn on Udogie was disgusting. McGinn's now out for 3 games. That's what happens, man. I really enjoyed the way that after that horrible tackle, which, I mean, that could have been a serious injury, that tackle. You know, their captain lost their heads. That kind of sums up how they played. I think they just lost it. But straight away, Brennan Johnson's in there. Brennan Johnson, man, let's talk about him. What a game! What a game! This is all going to be higgledy-piggledy, folks. But I mean, it's a lot to digest, man. Brennan Johnson, what a game! What a game! He was pressing. He was good on the ball, and there were times, especially during the first half, where he was defending, really helping us out. It was almost as if him and Udogie had switched positions at times. Udogie was quite often further up the pitch and Johnson was covering him. I think we're starting to see a little glimmer of total football when players are switching positions and covering each other like that. I love it, love it. But so at the end of the first half, I was thinking we were definitely in control. Villa were, you know, just parking the bus, weren't they? I mean, what else can you do when you're playing 6 players to try and stop a goal? It's not a good tactic. It's not what they've been training. That's not what Villa have been playing all season, and so they switched it up, and they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it. So the second half, man. Unfortunately, Mickey van der Ven copped an injury. He walked off the pitch okay, so I hope he's okay. Silver lining to that injury, though. I mean, how nice was it that when he went off, we didn't have a Tanganga, you know. We had Radu Dragusin, who had a great game, more than a cameo. But let's get to the goals, eh? Let's see if I can get this right this time. So the first one was Maddison, wasn't it? The first one was Maddison. Sarr picked him out. How the hell did Sarr pick out Maddison like that? When Sarr played the ball in, he had a few options. I think we had about 4 players in and around the box, but he went for the hardest one. Maddison had centre halves either side of him, but Maddison still got ahead, got his foot out. What a great goal! What was the second one? Was the second one Johnson? Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. It was Johnson, Son and Werner were the other goals, weren't they? They were all good goals. And look, our forwards were involved. Kulu was involved, man. Kulu set up Son, I believe, for his goal. Through pressing, our pressing was excellent. Every time Villa had the ball, they lost it. We made them lose the ball. They didn't have a second. And so when they did get a chance to do something, they weren't in the groove. They kept on just giving the ball straight back to us. So Son's goal, I think, was set up by Werner. Johnson's goal was set up by Son. Nice finish. Our finishing was great, wasn't it? Finishing was great. Nice goal by Johnson. Banged it into the top of the net past Martinez. And then Werner at the end. Who was that set up? Oh, it's all confusing, man. But Werner scored a great goal as well. Also, coming off the bench, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg played well. He actually had a bit of dazzle in him. So well done, Pierre. And Bentancur, that was a really good game for him to come back to. We were on top. We had them by the jugular. He came on and he did well. We could see some of his nice touching. It was, when our subs came on, we didn't go down. There wasn't a drop off in performance. That's the thing I'm looking for. We kept on going, and I was thinking, this is going to be. We could have got 4. We could have got 5 or 6 really towards the end. Villa were that much on the ropes, but it was a pathetic display by Villa. We just dominated. Now that takes us to, I think, 2 points behind them with a game in hand. Interesting that Liverpool and Manchester City drew, knocking points off each other. Looking at the table, do I dare to start dreaming a little bit again? I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe not quite. But I'm just looking forward to a good, strong end to the season, really. But more importantly, the Dreamometer, we gained 3 points on last year with that one, because we lost to Villa last year in a horrible performance, and we turned that around this year with an amazing performance. So we gained 3 points. I believe that takes us back up to 76 points. We've gained 16 points over equivalent fixtures last year. And more importantly, I think we're only 1 point away from avoiding relegation. That's right, Premier League football is coming back to Tottenham Hotspur next year if we draw one more game. Let's hope the boys can do it. I was seeing comments before the game like Ange is too naive for Emery. Emery afterwards talked about his plan for the game. His plan. I mean, it's what happens, in football you can't be too smart. If you try and be a bit clever, football just kicks you up the backside. So for all of the great strategies and plans, didn't work. Our plan is just to play football the Tottenham Hotspur, by far the greatest football team the world has ever seen, play the Tottenham way. What other incidents were there? Dragashin hitting the balls, Big Vic got a smack on the head. Villa were trying to hassle Vicario at one point, and it was good to see our players getting stuck in. I mean, that's got to stop, hasn't it? I don't like the super amount of protection that goalkeepers get, but when there's a corner, just trying to box the keeper in with players. I mean, where's this tactic coming from? But it didn't work because our players got involved, and that was the end of that. Big Vic had to do a couple of saves. Big Vic between the sticks. Didn't let us down yet again. And yet again, when we're all in Villa's half of the pitch and the ball bobbles like 5 yards into our half, who's the sweeper? It's Big Vic. He's not between the sticks, he's up the pitch. Big Vic up the pitch. I mean, it was a delight to behold. And I'm hoping people can see this tactic, how it works out, We play in their half of the pitch. We keep possession of the ball. They're chasing shadows. They spend a lot of energy when they try and do on the counter, whereas we're using less resources to do that. Teams just get tired. We wear them down. So I really don't think it was a question of we were bad in the first half, good in the second. I think it was all part of the same story. We wore them down. It was like we were giving them body shots in the first half, so that they're absolutely nowhere in the second half, and they lost their heads, and we didn't. So it was a great result for Tottenham. It was a great match to watch. I enjoyed every minute. Yet again, all I could hear on the TV were our fans singing, doing us proud. Nothing from Villa. Nothing from Villa. I mean, isn't it a bit embarrassing? How would you feel if, like, we're playing, we did what Villa did? We've been playing a certain way all season, and then we decide to go 6 at the back, including the keeper. That sends a huge message to the opposition. We made them change. We made them change. No one is making Tottenham Hotspur change. This is what we're doing, man. And the best thing about it? The best is yet to come, man. The best is yet to come. It was a great performance, but if you think about, and I'm not criticising the players here, don't get me wrong here. I think there's a lot more to come from Basuma and Maddison. They played very, very well, but we know what they can do. Our front three were linking up really well, but this is the start. As Ange says, we've got room for improvement. This isn't like the tippity-toppermost of the poppermost. This is on the way up, and exciting. It's good for our top 4 prospects. Not that I give a shit about that, but it's a great result. Great for the fans. I haven't really watched any critiques out there. I don't think I'd bother. I didn't watch them when we were losing. I'm not going to watch them when we're winning. I'm trying to be consistent here. I can see what we're doing. I can see what Ange is doing. And yet again, game management did not work. Seventh team this year that tried game management against Tottenham Hotspur. No one in the media is pointing out that game management doesn't work. The only time they talk about game management is really in regards to Tottenham, that we should do it. And we've proved time and time again that it is not a tactic worth contemplating, because it often does not work, and yet again it did not work for Villa. Tottenham prevailed. Very happy. Next match away against Fulham. Let's see if we can do them as well. I'm very, very happy today. I'm having a day off work today, basking in the glory of victory. I'm going to be happy all week because I'm a nutcase, but that's what football does, eh? I don't care. Anyway, just thinking if I missed anything. Oh, there's so much, man. It was nice to do a watch along when we were in control. By the end of the game, it was like kick back, relax, smile, instead of ah. So well done, Tottenham. Well done, Ange. Well done all the fans that went up there. I hope that was a great day out for you all. I'll see you next time. Peace and love, man. Come on, you Spurs.